Hello, and welcome to the channel. Today we will look at interesting facts about practically everything. But before we do, if you want to see more of these content, then consider subscribing to my channel and leave a like if this video was educational in some way. But don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Okay, let's start. Enjoy the video. Did you know that McDonald's used to make broccoli with bubblegum flavor? This fascinating information will make your mouth water. The attempt to convince kids to eat healthier, predictably, did not go over well with the child testers, who were confused by the flavor. Did you know that some fungus turn people into zombies and then take over their thoughts? Ants' central nerve systems are infected by the tropical fungus Ophiocordyceps. The fungi have complete control over the motions of the host after 9 days in the insect body. The ants are forced to climb trees, convulse, and fall into the cool, wet earth below, where fungi grow. When the fungus arrives, it waits until exactly noon to induce the ant to bite a leaf and kill it. Did you know that the very first oranges were not orange? The earliest Southeast Asian oranges were a tangerine pomelo mix that was truly green. In fact, oranges grown in warmer climates, such as Vietnam and Thailand, remain green until maturity. Did you know that here is only one letter that does not appear in any state name in the United States? Can you figure out what this odd fact is? There's a Z, Arizona, a J, New Jersey, and even two XS, New Mexico and Texas, but no Q. Did you know that a cow-bison hybrid is known as a beefalo, and its flesh is available in at least 21 states? Did you know Johnny Appleseed's fruits were not meant to be eaten? Yes, there was a real John Chapman who planted hundreds of apple trees on American land. However, the apples on those trees were far more bitter than those seen at the shop today. Johnny Appleseed didn't anticipate his fruits to be consumed whole, but rather turned into hard apple cider. Did you know that in Scotland there are 421 terms for snow? Yes, 421. That's a lot of interesting snow information. Some examples include sneasel, to begin rainy or snowing, feefel, to swirl, and flinkdrinken, light snow. Did you know that Samsung uses a butt-shaped robot to evaluate phone durability? Do these fascinating facts have you reconsidering everything? People constantly keep their phones in their back pockets, which is why Samsung designed a robot looking like a butt. And yes, it even wears jeans to sit on their phones to ensure they can withstand the strain. Did you know that the appellation Windy City has nothing to do with the weather in Chicago? Was this one of the random things you were already aware of? Chicago's moniker was coined by 19th century writers in reference to its citizens being windbags and full of hot air. Did you know that peanuts aren't strictly considered nuts? They're called legumes. Merriam-Webster defines a nut as a hard-shelled dry fruit or seed having a detachable rind or shell and interior kernel. This indicates that walnuts, almonds, cashews, and pistachios are also not nuts. They're seeds. Did you know THSD armadillo shells are bulletproof? In fact, one Texas man was wounded after a bullet he fired at an armadillo ricocheted off the animal and struck him in the jaw. Did you know that wetting compounds are used by firefighters to make water wetter? Because the chemicals lower the surface tension of plain water, it spreads and soaks into objects more easily, which is why it's referred to as wet water. Did you know that the longest English word contains 189,819 letters? We won't type it out, though you can read it here. But the complete name for the protein known as titin would take 3.5 hours to recite out. Fact: running amok is a medically recognized mental condition, considered a culturally bound syndrome. A person running amok in Malaysia commits a sudden, frenzied mass attack, then begins to brood. Did you know that, at any given time, 56,000 eggs are laid by octopuses? The mother doesn't eat for 6 months because she is so focused on protecting the eggs. When the babies are born, they're the size of a grain of rice. Did you know that cats' back paws have fewer toes? They have 5 toes on their front paws, like most four-legged mammals. but only 4 on their back paws. Scientists believe the 4-toed back paws help them sprint faster. Did you know blue whales consume 500,000 calories in one bite? These strange facts are mind-boggling. Those 457,000 calories are more than 240 times the energy used by the whale to gather those shrimp into its mouth. Did you know that Turkish people can blush when turkeys are terrified or excited, such as when males see a female they want? The pale skin on their head and neck turns brilliant red, blue, or white. The skin atop their beaks, known as a snood, likewise reddens. Did you know that, to keep animation simple, most Disney characters wear gloves? Walt Disney may have been the first to put gloves on his characters, as shown in Mickey Mouse's 1929 film The Opry House. Apart from being easier to animate, Disney chose gloves for another reason. We didn't want Mickey to have mouse hands because he was intended to be more human, Disney told his biographer in 1957. Did you know that the man with the deepest voice in the world can make sounds that humans cannot hear? Tim Storms the guy can't hear the note, which is 8 octaves below the lowest G on a piano, but elephants can. Did you know that a high school student designed the current American flag? It began as a school project for Bob Heff's junior year history class in 1958, and it barely received a B. Even though Alaska and Hawaii were not yet states, his design had 50 stars. Heff anticipated that the two would be granted statehood shortly and presented his design to the authorities. Heff's teacher changed his grade to an A after President Dwight D. Eisenhower called to say his design was approved. Did you know that? Through 3D printing, NASA can effectively email tools to astronauts. It used to take months or years to deliver new equipment to the space station, but thanks to advances in technology, the tools are now available in hours. Did you know that only around 1/4 of the Sahara Desert is sandy? The majority of it is covered in gravel, but it also has mountains and oases. Oh, and it isn't the world's largest desert. That honor belongs to Antarctica. Did you know that bananas grow upside down? Or, more precisely, we peel them backwards. These unexpected facts will change the way you consume fruit. They naturally grow outward from their stems, but this means their bottoms face the sky. As the fruits become larger, they bend toward the sun, generating that unique curve. Did you know that when dinosaurs were living, there were active volcanoes on the moon? The majority of the volcanoes likely ceased to exist 1 billion years ago.